So could you just tell us a little bit about simultaneous policy?
It's about driving governments to cooperate with each other to implement policies simultaneously together at the same time, which no government can implement on its own, because all governments are at the behest of big business. So to quote Tony Blair on climate change, he says the blunt truth about the politics of climate change is that no one government will want to sacrifice its economy to meet this challenge. So simultaneous policy is about driving governments to implement policies at the same time, therefore no one loses out by moving first. It's simultaneous policies are bottom-up, people's global governance. People around the world adopt the idea of the simultaneous policy and put forward policy proposals such as make all trade fair, ban all weapons of mass destruction, make war the last solution to resolving conflict, or a proper Kyoto Agreement, 70, 80, 90% greenhouse gas reduction, contraction and convergence. And we put forward these policy proposals and we vote for candidates, any candidate within reason that has signed a pledge, the simultaneous policy pledge, which means they agree to implement these policies which are put forward by the adopters. They implement these policies when and only when a consensus of other governments around the world have also signed the pledge. So we drive governments to sign a pledge to implement our policies together at the same time. Therefore, it removes the excuse of first mover competitive disadvantage. Lots of organisations collaborating together. We're trying to, simultaneous policy is trying to build a consensus of opinion. We want to work alongside other organisations. So other organisations can make incremental changes to government policies, but we want to set the big policies that can be set by most governments at the same time. So we can work alongside. Having our stall here at Synergy is excellent because we can have we can promote ourselves. So we're all trying to do the same thing, and the more we pull together and the more we have a consensus of agreement over what is necessary, it makes us far more effective. So yeah, it's good to be here for that reason. Also, what makes them sign the pledge, seeing as all the main parties in most democracies are pretty much the same, because they have to be the same to get in power in the first place, i.e. pander to big business. Firstly, you might as well vote for a candidate that has signed the pledge over one that hasn't. And secondly, no one knows who to vote for, so they're not getting in by many votes. So it doesn't take many of us to get them to sign the pledge in the first place. And so from doing the stall, and I did very well at the last Synergy project, lots of people became adopters. 20 or 30 in one evening, so it's really good. And from doing the stall, we've got 5 MPs in 2 months to sign the pledge to implement the simultaneous policy pledge. And also we've been campaigning for 2 years, and 17 MPs from all the main parties have signed the pledge. We've also got the whole of the Western Australian Green Party plus 1 senator has signed the pledge. It's government policy in East Timor, and a political party in Brazil have made it party policy. It's a matter of time before we move from competition to cooperation. We're forced to compete with each other due to tribal, nationalistic and animalistic prior to tribalistic. Now, competition is in our nature, obviously, but with globalisation we can choose consciously to cooperate with each other as we recognise our collective humanity, which is our higher nature, our higher understanding. We recognise that everything is interconnected, and cause and effect, what we do has knock-on effect. So if we all pull together consciously, if we choose, most people want the same thing, we just need to we need a strategy whereby we can have what is necessary by cooperation.